Alright, I said I wasn't going to make this video, but there's been enough people that have responded to the EBT situation that I feel like I probably should. So first things first, some videos were pretty good. Other videos didn't really solve any of the issues or think through the issues, but I'm going to mainly refer to what we can actually talk about and actually get a reasonable discussion from. So more than anything else, whether you agree with the restrictions or you disagree with the restrictions, we can all agree that we do want to help people. At least I hope that's the case, because people were talking about how we need to make healthier food more affordable, and I 100% agree with that. I would love to see that implemented. But we don't know if or when that will be implemented, so we have to deal with the reality of the current situation. So if you are somebody who is on EBT, or you know somebody who's on EBT who is looking for help, as far as trying to eat in a little bit more healthy manner while having restrictions on what they can actually purchase, you can either do this for them, or you can suggest this to them if they have access to something like ChatGPT. What you're going to do is you're going to outline your situation as fully as you possibly can. What this looks like: I have X amount of dollars on EBT. These are the stores that I have available to me. They carry these options, or they don't carry these options. I'm trying to feed X number of people, X number of calories. Now, most GPTs are pretty updated on what are the restrictions, so you probably don't have to tell them exactly what's restricted, but if you do, you can also take that extra step. And then if it spits out something for you, because what it'll automatically do is it'll give you a bunch of options that require a decent amount of prep time. If you have that time to be able to prep things, great. If you don't, you can further prompt it to then say, I don't have this amount of time, or I have X amount of time. What can you do for me to make it a little bit more reasonable from a time perspective, and then still maximize the dollar? And it will spit out new options for you. If you continue to prompt it in this manner, I promise you, you will be able to come up with something that is far more budget friendly than you ever expected. Oh, also make sure you let it know which state you're from, because it might take an amalgamation of the states rather than your specific situation. Regardless as to whether you agree with the restrictions or not, this is much more helpful than us just arguing about them. So for anybody that's been affected by the regulations, or people that you know that have been affected by the regulations, show them this video and give them a hand. TNF out.
I just saw a video from TNF about how you can't use EBT to buy soda at the grocery store anymore. And he was talking about how it's a good thing because, you know, you shouldn't be able to use other people's money to buy unhealthy It's to make sure you don't starve. And people were like, clearly you've never been in a food desert before. Bro, a food desert means that, like, you're not close enough to a grocery store, so you have to drive a long way to get your basic needs. Except that doesn't mean you need to buy soda at the grocery store because you can't get to a grocery store. So the logical conclusion that you're drawing here is that since you're having a hard time going to the grocery store, instead of buying good foods at the grocery store, you're going to buy bad foods at the grocery store. But you're still at the grocery store, so just buy good food. Idiot.
So they're banning EBT's ability to buy soda and junk food. One of my favorite creators on this app, TNF, spoke on it, and he released a second video kind of trying to further address his position. And I think he still missed a point. And this is not just to TNF, this is to all the creators who have such a strong opinion about what poor people do. I think it's really, 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 really easy when you're not in the position where access to food is limited and all you're trying to do is feed your family. They like to always make poor people look like they're the menace to society. They're the ones who are scamming. So people will tell you, well, how many people are scamming on EBT? And how many people are just buying soda and reselling it? And they convince you that other poor people are your enemy while the ultra elite continue to rob you on a daily basis. Banning the ability to access soda and junk food, which is not an official category. So it's discretionary how they're going to decide what junk food is. All that does is hurt kids, men and women who need food. Yes, people should eat more calorie dense food. People should eat more vegetables, whole foods. I'm all for it. You know, I'm team eat things that occur naturally on earth as much as possible. But I also realize when you have a person working 2 jobs, maybe raising 1 or 2 kids, and they need access to food that has a good shelf life or it's easy to prepare easy to access. Limiting their ability to feed their family is not what's going to help them, especially when the same people who are telling you that you need to make better decisions or find a better job don't want to pay you better, and they're telling you to find a better job. So you have people stuck on this hamster wheel where they're working 2 jobs just to survive, not 2 jobs to have extra perks. A second job should be so that you can take your family to Disney World. A second job should not be so that you can not even barely pay your rent. But they continue to make poor people the scapegoats for all the ills of this country. And this is just showmanship by the right to make it pretend that they're doing something to make Americans healthier. This doesn't make Americans healthier. This makes more people who suffer from food insecurity continue to suffer from food insecurity. Have a good day.
The government just banned people on food stamps from buying junk food like soda and candy. Well, at least 6 different states did, and they all have varying levels of restriction. Florida, for example, banned soda, energy drinks, candy, and pre-packaged desserts. But some other states like Arkansas banned soda and some low-calorie alternatives, which I think is a giant mistake. I'm all for banning soda, but to ban the 0-calorie healthy version of it, that's just stupid in my opinion. Diet soda is not only 99% water, but when you buy it in a 2-liter, a lot of times it's cheaper. But let me get this straight. They're banning me from purchasing something that's 99% water, but I can purchase something that's 100% water. That's really where you lose me. And I think the bigger problem is that the government has such a tough time describing what is actually a junk food. Like, you would obviously draw the line at candy bars, right? Well, what about a Cliff Bar or something else with the same macros, just like a healthier version? It's funny, people are enraged by this, but it's commonly accepted that it's a good thing that you can't buy alcohol and cigarettes with EBT. Those are harmful to your health, just like how highly palatable junk foods are, just to a lesser extent. I think the toughest thing with a ban like this is classifying what is actually considered a junk food.
What is up, YouTube? My name is Happiness and welcome to my channel. So yes guys, this EBT situation of them restricting sodas and snacks. So my thoughts about it is that I can hear that most people, to which I believe that are not taxpayers, but the ones who are complaining that the reason why they are banning these stuff is that still people are still gonna suffer. And like, what is gonna happen if somebody can't really afford to buy themselves a snack or a soda because they wanted to prove that there are still people out there who are really suffering, and to which some people don't understand. And I also believe myself that, you know what, that might be the case because yes, there are people who are suffering, but maybe it might be something to which can motivate a person to go out there and try to do something to resolve that situation, like get a job, you know, something that will give you that motivation to go and make money, to go and get money to buy what you want. Because I mean, like, if they were able to ban cigarette and alcohol, and I believe that people who are already on EBT, some of them are alcoholics or not in a bad way, but I'm just saying, and due to the fact that they do not get those benefits, but it does push them to go out there and get alcohol with their own money to which they hustled for. So yes guys, this will be a motivation to all those people out there. But despite that guys, comment below on your thoughts on what you think about this, and please don't forget to like and subscribe. And despite that, thank you for watching my channel. Let's meet up to the next video, and peace out.